There are some scathing remarks that have been made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi while he was holding a public address in Madhya Pradesh. He has attacked the Congress and called it pro-Pakistan. And let's try to dive deep into this comment and what is the reason the same has been made. Mehendi Garg on the telecast with me, and before I go to my reporter, let's quickly hear what Prime Minister said.
कांग्रेस के इरादे कितने भयानक है, उनकी साजिशें कितनी खतरनाक है, ये समझना हो तो आपको उन लोगों की बातें सुननी होगी जो 25 यानी 20, 25 साल कांग्रेस में रहे हैं। 20, 25 साल जो कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता रहे हैं, नेता रहे हैं, और ये लोग अब धमाधम कांग्रेस छोड़ रहे हैं। ये कुछ अजीब सी बात है जी। और वो बाहर आकर के खुली हवा में सांस लेते ही कहते हैं बस अब और नहीं, इनफ इज इनफ। अब इनकी बातें सुनिए। एक महिला ने कहा कि मैं राम मंदिर गई तो उसको इतना टॉर्चर किया कि उन्हें कांग्रेस ही छोड़नी पड़ गई। एक और व्यक्ति ने कहा कि कांग्रेस पर मुस्लिम लीगियों और माओवादियों ने कब्जा कर लिया है। तीसरे ने एक और गहरी साजिश से पर्दा उठा दिया। उन्होंने कहा कि कांग्रेस के शाहजादे का इरादा राम मंदिर पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले को पलटने का है। जैसे
Mehendi Garg on the telecast with me. Mehendi, a caustic remark made by the Prime Minister, the highlight of it saying that if the Congress were to come to power, it is going to reverse the Supreme Court decision of building the Ram temple in Ayodhya.
Well, yes, Megha, big statements have been made by the Prime Minister during his rally in Khargone, Madhya Pradesh, in which he accused Congress of having a Pakistan-like mindset as he once again brought up the issue of vote jihad. And if we talk about the key factor of the statements that Prime Minister has given, in that he has specifically mentioned that if Congress party comes in power, then they will revoke and they will do something over the Ram Mandir matter. And also these statements are very much big coming out of Prime Minister Modi's mouth during the Lok Sabha elections, ongoing elections. And while addressing, PM Modi slammed the Congress leadership for advocating vote jihad against him and urging people of a community to unite and vote against him also.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mehendi, for giving us that update. Now, Yuvraj Pokhrana, quickly a response from you. How do you view what has been said by the Prime Minister? There was another Congress leader who has come out and spoken the same thing yesterday. There has been opposition seen by the Congress lawyers in the court when they were fighting tooth and nail against Hindu side for allowing for the Ram Mandir to be built. What would the mandate, what would the people of the country actually understand, and whether there is at this time a resolve by the Congress to support the Ram Mandir decision by the Supreme Court? What is the guarantee that the Congress gives?
First of all, good afternoon to you and everybody in the panel. Megha, using your channel and you as a medium, I would like to urge each and every Indian to vote in large numbers, and I, being a proud Indian, have done my duty today. Second, it's not about Ram Mandir or the Congress. It is about the Muslim League mindset of the Congress. And if you allow me a couple of minutes, I can elaborate on the issue. Starting from 2006 Manmohan Singh statement to 2009 Manmohan Singh statement again, from the Sachar committee report to the Justice Rangnath Mishra committee report, there was a mindset prevalent in the Congress of cutting across the reservations of the OBCs and the ST and allotting the same to Muslims. Fine, they can do that. I don't have any qualms with giving reservation to any XYZ, but it is against the very fabric of the constitution of giving religious reservation. And second, let's not beat around the bush. What PM Modi said are not his words. These are the words of the former Congress leaders in the likes of Radhika Khera and Acharya Pramod Krishnam. So what he said is just nothing but repeating the words of what you big Congress leaders to the stature of the advisor of Priyanka Gandhi and the national spokesperson of Congress, what they said, PM Modi just resonated that.
Okay.
And
okay. All right.
I don't
Akhil,
find
coming
anything
to
wrong in that.
you. Okay, fair enough. Akhil, coming to you. Now, Ram Mandir is a plank that BJP has been fighting the elections and, mind you, winning them as well. The Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha has happened in January, and that has been buoyed by the BJP's resolve to talk to the people and tell them that a poll promise in the manifesto of the BJP ever since its inception has now been fulfilled. Now, in a situation such as this, that the Congress was in opposition to the building of the Ram temple, what is the sentiment of the people on the ground? Are they convinced that the Congress, if it comes to power, is going to revoke the Supreme Court order?
It's funny. You see, if you remember, Rajiv Gandhi has opened the locks of Ayodhya. You see, if you remember, long back. I don't know why BJP just want to implicate or just want to defame Congress to say that we are making Ram Mandir.
Congress leader and member of parliament and an eminent lawyer, it is Kapil Sibal, who was fighting the case for the litigants, for the Muslim side against the Hindu side, and therefore then you question the intent of the Congress in whether it backs Ram Mandir or whether it is backing the Muslim side.
You see, you cannot go in a narrow lens of all these issues. You must see in a broader sense.
Important to
Congress has never opposed the Ram temple. They have opened it. I told you, Rajiv
member
Gandhi.
of parliament and lawyer to fight the case in favor of the Muslim side.
There are so many issues going on in our country. Our country is free. Everybody can do anything. But it doesn't mean they are against Ram Mandir.
It
doesn't mean that Congress is against Ram Mandir.
Does it not reflect Congress's ideology to not support the Ram Mandir? And the fact that it lasted up until 65 years and the Ram Mandir still could not be built. And in the 10 years under the Modi government, this has become a reality.
Okay, they have made it. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Modi. But what do you want from this? You want to win the election. You want to divert the attention of the burning issues. You want to divide the country on the basis of religion. What? Maryada Purushottam. His name is Maryada Purushottam. You are destroying the Maryadas of Ram by just using his name for your own narrow political ends. You are doing this. Mr. Modi, stop this. I just want to tell you, one minute. I will take only 10 seconds. I will take only 10 seconds. You see, since my student life, I have been associated, I have been the activist, I have been volunteer in Ram Leela, all Ram Leela every year, and we never find that this is only for Hindus. We are all enjoying Ram Leela every year during my student life, after that also, but after coming of BJP government in 2014, not during Atal Bihari time, during 2014 under Mr. Modi, this division is being created.
He was not even
this
in power
only
for 5 years.
Only
he was
for
just about
making the corrupt end of BJP.
I'm saying the Indira government, Nehru government and then Rajiv government could not build the Ram temple. That was done in the 10 years under Modi regime, under BJP regime. I'm going to quickly get in Mukesh Tyagi on the telecast with us. Mukesh Tyagi, the fact that a mandir has been built, the fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is attacking the Congress, saying that if the Congress were to come to power, it is going to reverse the Supreme Court decision favoring the Hindu side for building the Ayodhya Ram temple. Now, he has also targeted the Congress in supporting in its vote bank the minority, religious minority, which is the Muslims. polarization attacks from the Congress and from the BJP side. Now, can one party be blamed for playing polarizing politics? Aren't both parties equally participant in this?
No. Actually, polarization is happening in a very excessive scale by Congress. They are trying to do appeasement and they want to secure. Now, problem is that they have been squandered right from 414 seat in 1984, and now they are literally reduced to 52. Now, how do they regain their supremacy? That's the problem. So they've lost the balance. They are trying to placate both Hindus and Muslims. You can see a double standard, multiple standard in the behavior of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Sometimes he becomes Janayudhari, he wears Janayu on the suit, which is obviously not a Hindu sacrament. And one gentleman was talking about Rajiv Gandhi opened the locks. I think that was Rajiv Gandhi realized now he has offended Hindus in a big way, Muslims in a big way. When the Shah Banu case came in 1985, that maintenance will be not given to that old lady. As a result of the divorce, and there was a hue and cry among the Muslims. So he brought the amendment and he changed that Supreme Court ruling. Now he realized that now Hindus are very unhappy. So he just tried to balance it out. He got the Ram Janambhoomi temple locks open. So they are trying to take credit. Oh, he's the one who pioneered this. But look at the history, 500 years. You think Bharatiya Janata Party has been constantly working on it. LK one is Rath Yatra. How many people have died? Mulayam Singh Yadav shot them. So that kind of relentless fervor which was displayed by Bharatiya Janata Party, you are saying they are doing the appeasement politics of Hindus? Absolutely not. Their reverence is unquestionable. Their reverence for Ram is in everybody's heart. And that's the unifying factor of India.
Okay.
So if Mr. Modi is trying to pinpoint, he can read between the lines. He's a very seasoned politician. He understands the dynamics on the ground. He understands that if Congress is given power, they will try to undo everything to possible to please a certain section of the community which they want to preserve, right from the time of when they got the freedom. So their preservation, they don't want to lose this vote bank. And that's why Mr. Modi is saying that they will try to undo Ram Janam, they will try to do Teen Talaq, they will try to revoke 370 back into, restore 370 into constitution. So they will do everything possible to make it happen. They will remain popular with the
George Kurian, I'll come to you. How do you view the situation? Again, you know, a pole plank of the BJP that the Ram temple has been built. Does this benefit the BJP in getting the votes?
Well, good afternoon to your viewers and to my co-panelists on the show and to you. First and foremost, I would like to say that, you know, I guess Prime Minister Narendra Modi is looking quite nervous after the third phase, which is ongoing at this point in time. After the two phases, BJP has got a sense that, you know, they are going to lose out of power in 2024. As far as the Congress party and the India bloc is concerned, we are confident we'll surpass the 290 mark on our own, and we'll be able to form the government. As of right now, today, by the end of the day, 283 parliamentary constituencies will be done with their voting. 260 would be probably remaining in the next four phases. And as of right now, we are hands up as compared to Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA bloc. And by the end of the day, 19 states and union territories will be also completed through the election of Lok Sabha, and 15 states will be remaining post the next four phases of election.
Yeah.
So overall, I strongly believe that, you know, the Congress party doesn't want to polarize anything. We want to do a free and fair election.
But that's what the charge of the BJP is. When the BJP targets the India alliance and particularly the Congress, cast census talking about how religious minorities are going to be given preference, where the Supreme Court does not, our constitutional does not allow for quotas to be divided and provided under religion. And this has been already witnessed in Karnataka, where the entire Muslim community has been given quotas.
Well, Megha, as far as the Congress party is concerned, we are clear about everything. in fact, you must have heard Rahul Gandhi publicly admitting that we are going to increase that benchmark of 50% reservation that is there. First and foremost, when we come to power, we're going to carry out the socio-economic survey just to ensure how we can prioritize things and make policies accordingly.
Okay.
We are very clear about the fact that we want to carry everybody along irrespective of caste, creed, and religion.
Okay.
We believe in.
Okay. So I just want to clarify: Are you a political analyst or are you a Congress spokesperson?
I am a Congress leader and I support the
Okay.
Congress.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.